Hello and good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy day 26. Wait, I think it's day 26. How are you guys doing? I'm doing amazing. And we're getting started right away. 28 seconds in. Let's go ahead and do this. Today I have put down two colors, this yellow and this purple. These are the ones that I decided to start with. I have no particular reason why. I just did it. And they're watercolors. If you were here yesterday, you know that I ran out of pages out of my watercolor sketchbook. So now I've moved to my other sketchbook that has a few more pages in it because I haven't had a chance to go to the store to go get a new watercolor sketchbook. And also, I want to finish the things that I have before I just be like stacking up sketchbooks. So this one, I'll show you real quick. It's an old sketchbook. I've had this for a little over a year, maybe 2 years. A friend gave it to me some time ago, 2024, so 1 year, almost a full year. In February, I will have had this sketchbook being used for one whole year. And let me tell you the story behind this sketchbook. So I was in Costa Rica living there for a while, and I had met a friend, and my friend, I was there for like 2 weeks, and my friend that I had met, when she was leaving the place where we were staying together at the time, she left me a bag of goodies, and because she knew I was coming back. She wasn't, 100% sure, but she was like, I'm going to leave you some stuff. And I came back, and it was a bag of like old cloths and materials and things, plus this sketchbook. It hadn't been used. The cover is all black. It's just so beautiful. And so I saw it. I cried. I thanked her on message. I sent her a text, obviously, because she wasn't here with me. It was just the most beautifulest thing. And so I immediately decided that I wanted to put a cover on it because it was a hardback book. And this was one of the skirts. This was a skirt that's in the bag. The brand of this skirt is J. Crew. It's a cute skirt, but I cut it up and I made it into a book cover. And I've been using this ever since for all of my arts, all of my art learnings. You can see my growth if you look through this book. And I think maybe at the end of today's live, I could do like a look through of this book with you guys. You'll also know that when I come on here, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do. I just kind of like start. I was literally laying down less than 5 minutes ago. And I was like, you know what? There's no time like the present. Because why wait? Especially if you guys are expecting me to be on a little bit early. I'm really building this routine. I'm not trying to like self-sabotage myself by being like, oh, I'm too tired. Today is my off day. I should sleep in. I felt like that, but then I just felt this gas under me. It wasn't gas, but I felt this gas under me that was like, no, go do it now. I even heard like, now you know you show up for work on time. This is your work. This is your work now, girl. Show up for it. I'm like, okay. And then to seal the deal, I made a deal with myself. After we're finished with this 15 minutes today, we're going to lay back down. So this is what my new world looks like. I work for 15 minutes a day, and then I get off and I go back and lay down. I don't know. That's what it's going to look like, at least this morning. And I just thought that was cute, and I wanted to share that with you guys. We're going to go back in with yellow now because I just heard go back in with yellow now. Did you guys have a great day yesterday? Do y'all have anything going on? If you're watching this now and not in the future as a uploaded, recorded version of this live, what are your plans for Christmas if you have any? Today is December 7th. Yeah, today's December 7th. And we do have a few weeks for Christmas. Do you have plans already? Have you been feeling the Christmas spirit? Have you been feeling the joy? I've been feeling the joy for sure. I've been feeling the spirit too, but I've definitely been feeling the joy. Yeah. And I haven't started Christmas shopping per se. Honestly, for the past few years, I haven't really been Christmas shopping like that. But this year, I don't know. We'll see. Last year, I didn't Christmas shop per se, but I did make my way into Walmart. I was living here in Puerto Rico, and the friends that I had made in the community where I was living, I went to Walmart and I bought just some intuitive gifts. I remember hearing you should get some little notepads and pens. I don't know why, but I did get that, and people were like, thank you so much. And I just got the small mini ones, so it was like a 3-pack for $2. It was perfect. And I got little pens, a whole pack of pens, and gave one to each person. And I also got some of those little, what do you call that? Those little candies, the boxes of candies that they have there at Walmart. I know some people are against Walmart, but it's a story. I'm not gonna, I don't know. I still want to be here in this reality, and some of the things that we have made as a collective is pretty cool. So I like that I can go to Walmart and get stuff that I like when I want to. So anyway, that's what I did. It was no fuss, no pressure. There were also a few gifts that I actually made too last year. So I like to make gifts. I like to make artwork and then give that as gifts. Very creative. The year before last year, it wasn't really Christmas gifts, but I made a lot of clay polymer charms kind of for keychains, keychain things. But I was making them based off of where I was living with the collective at that time, based on the hobbies and the things that the people had wanted to do with their hobbies, their interests. One person loves to skate, so I made a roller skate keyring. One person loves math and numbers, counting, things like that, so I made a calculator. Of course, I put glitter on it because I put glitter on everything, but bro, the way how my art be just evolving without me trying, it's quite fascinating. I'm just here with my little palette. You guys can't see the full view, but that's what's happening. Also, today I'm noticing I'm only painting with one brush. I did go ahead and wash off my other brushes, but this brush, I have one, and I'm liking it. Also, if you hear some banging around, there's people doing work out there. If anyone wanted to really sleep in, sorry. I'm not apologizing because it's not me, but all that noise they're making, that's kind of sad. And it's not even 7 a.m. yet. Crazy. I'm not usually a person that's like, oh, I gotta like have it to be super quiet or super dark. When I sleep, I do like it to be dark, but it doesn't have to be like super dark. And I like it to be quiet when I'm going to sleep, but it doesn't have to be super quiet. But maybe I'm getting older because the sounds this morning did wake me up. I was like, what time is it? You guys, I love to be in love with life. Y'all thought I was going to say with people, with life. Like, get your mind out the gutter. Like, that's the gutter. It's not the gutter. What's my favorite theme to draw? And welcome in, you guys. I'm so sorry. I haven't even said welcome in to any of y'all. My favorite theme to draw, I don't really have a favorite theme or theme. I like spirals. I like circles. My favorite thing is shapes. And since you asked that, let's start drawing some triangles. I really love a triangle. I feel like the connection of like 3 lines is just like so perfect. Did you know that our world is made up of squares? And they said that anything that's made as a circle is truly natural, but anything that's made as a square with like sharp points is man-made by us people. Isn't that interesting? It makes sense because when you look at nature, you will find things that are circular. When you're looking like at a city, for instance, or just at your normal store or whatever, you're gonna notice all of our homes are made as squares, and maybe that's why people start making like um, those homes that are made out of like raw materials, like dirt and things like that, because like they're just trying to get more connected to like our natural world versus our created world. Pyramids were made by us people, but like a different time. Would I rather paint, sculpt things, or draw things? Um, Thank you for all these questions, by the way. I like to I like to paint because it's easy. Um, I love to draw. The only thing about drawing sometimes is that it can take time. So, and like I get too in my head a little bit sometimes with perfection. But if I'm drawing without like thinking, I'm just like going at it and just like doing intuitive, then I love it because then I just do whatever. It turns into a meditation for me, which I haven't done in so long because I've been just so like preoccupied with all these new hobbies that I'm trying to like involve myself in. I love to sculpt things, and honestly, I have a secret desire. Don't tell anyone. I don't even know why I'm telling y'all. I'm not gonna tell y'all. No, I'll tell y'all. I'll tell y'all. I have a secret desire to make a diorama, and I've been wanting to for some time now. When I was in school, things like that, and we had like assignments, projects that could be like more like interactive, I always wanted it to be a diorama. I was looking for a box. I was looking for things to like hang and to make fake grass and to make fake animals and just to like build out worlds. I kind of like to build out worlds, but I haven't allowed myself to because I'm talking in real time. You guys are getting the raw me right now. I haven't allowed myself to because I feel like it's too much work and too much mess. and takes too much time. These are all the limiting beliefs that I am actually hearing myself say to you guys, and why I'm gonna bust that up because I'm holding myself back from having fun. What the heck? I'm just realizing. Like, sad face. Sad face, but happy face because I figured it out. We did spirals. I'm gonna do some circles. Y'all, guess what? Don't be sad. But it's almost 15 minutes. It's actually 15 minutes that I've been on, period. Should I go a little bit longer with you guys today? Maybe. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't coughed or cleared my throat or any of that. The sickness is gone. I did promise you guys a look through at the end of this of other little pieces of art in this book. So, I gotta stick to the promises. I gotta stick to what I said. By the way, if you guys are new here, I haven't even plugged in my my marketing. Hey, subscribe. Subscribe, like my video, check out my other content. My other content is more art. Turn on notification bells for the live part of things. Do all the things because you don't want to miss when I come out with a new video. Also, you don't want to miss when I go live. And I've been doing this now for 26 days. And eventually I'm going to make it to 30 days in a couple of days. And I'd like to keep on going. I've already decided that I'm going to keep going. And yeah, it's just that. I'm just going to keep going. Let's do the signature sprinkles. It's the reason why you guys are here, because y'all like when I do this part. Because we never know where these sprinkles are going to go. Just makes things so cute. So cute, right? All right. Almost done. I'm going to do a few more purples. This brush is really good at splattering. And I'm going to try a little yellow just to see if it'll pop first, like stand up. If you guys have not started doing the 15-minute art challenge for 30 days, y'all should, because I promise you, I was not this consistent, this confident in the beginning. I had to have music in the beginning. I haven't had music in days since I've been going live with you guys. Okay, putting away my paintbrush. That's it. I give you guys a closer look. Today's art. This is today's art. You can see the details and the splatters. It's very pretty. Now, I said I would give you guys a look through, so let's do that. I'm going to remove some of these things here. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the moment you stayed with me on this live today. I know that it's still a bit wet, but it's okay. Okay, so this is the sketchbook. This is what it looks like on the front. I made a pocket. Well, it had a pocket. Remember, this is a skirt that I had covered this book with. So I put it where the pocket was because I used to put like my pencils in it, and I'd go like walking on the street with my sketchbook. It was a whole vibe. Like, you should have seen me, because when the sun hits this gold, like, you see the detailing? The skirt is J. Crew. I told you guys. You can make clothes into book covers. Okay, so These are stickers I got. I got these in Costa Rica at the airport, and I was like, to remember that this is from my journal from Costa Rica, my friend gave me. Very cute, right? All right. And actually, this is not from Costa Rica. A friend sent this to me from California, this sticker. And I love it so much. How vibrant it is. It's a Ganesh. Okay. Now, this was the first page of this book. This is from Costa Rica, some stickers that I cut up. But this is me when I was a little girl. And I had made like felt people out of some of the materials that was in the bag with this skirt. There was all kinds of material. So I was like, I'm going to make this into like an interactive kind of journal. And I started that way, but then I got bored really quick. I put happily ever after does exist because I was reminding myself. This next page. These were the leaves that I had found outside and I glued them on. And after a couple days, it started peeling off and I just started to draw what I saw in February. I'm a free electron. It's because I was in Costa Rica, you guys. I felt like I was like living my best life. I had finally left home, like for real, and decided I was going to try life differently. Next page. These are all intuitive drawings as well. Like you asked me what I'd rather do. This sketchbook was showing me that I love to draw. So I would just make stuff and then I would look at it later and I'd be like, oh wow, this is me crossing the Rio in Costa Rica. There were so many rivers that you have to cross to get to places because I lived in the jungle area. It was very interesting. And there was not very many roads that were paved, which was good, but also interesting. Next page. Can you see the lady's face? After I did those scribbles, I was like, that's a whole lady. Love, evolve. I'm awake in my dream. That's when I started to realize that I was awake in the dream of the life that I was creating. Peace, joy, bliss, awake in the dream. Music. Very interesting. Art is so just like personal and also like, I don't know, intimate. I thought these are like little faces like, ooh, 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 but also like water. I love to do that kind of shape a lot. A self-portrait I did of myself when I was there. And then when I got back home, my grandkids scribbled on it. This was me trying to go back to making this journal interactive. So material that was in that bag. This is part of the skirt that's on the cover. Right here and here. It's fun to do an interactive journal. I put, your story has only begun. What does that say? Your words are valued. And seeing clearly, you've got the power. And then I thought this was a cool image. Flowers, but made out of spirals. And then sometimes I just scribble because I want to draw, but I don't feel like I have something to draw, so I just make lines. Do you ever do that? Then I was like, this was something else, and then it came into this. I thought it was nice. It's all marker. This is something else. I started with circles and it evolved to this. I started to regret it after I started coloring because I was like, this is going to take me all day. But then I finished it and I was like, it's nice. I was also trying to learn how to outline things and make things pop, give a 3D effect. This piece of page is from another sketchbook of mine. I made this piece of page art and I posted it on my TikTok and it went viral. It's only like, I think it's like 6, maybe 5 seconds. The audio is silly too. It's weird. on the back, me drawing a house, more art. One of the travelers that I met in Costa Rica, she came with a watercolor palette, just like one of those cute ones from Amazon, the mini one. And I had been wanting one, and I asked her if I could use hers. It was perfect. It had the little pen with the water inside the pen. Well, it's like, a brush with water inside and all the colors. And the colors were vibrant, right? This is watercolor. This was something else, and then I started to draw around it, and it turned into a mandala. Same thing here. This one started off as just an infinity symbol, and then it expanded into this. This took me hours. I remember laying on the floor in Costa Rica, just like doing it, and I was like, wow, this feels so good. And I just kept going. This reminded me of like our system, how, we eliminate waste. I thought these would be eyes or faces, but it's a mandala, basically. That was when I started to want to draw mandalas. So I was like, I'm going to practice this. Went back to doing those lines again. I tell you, I love to do like waves. I feel like it's always waves of emotions and lots of blue. So like emotional time. Marker. This is marker. This is leaves that I painted, put down, and then outlined. Big leaves in Costa Rica. Left hand, right hand. Do you ever do this? Use your left hand and your right hand and see what happens? I did. It was very interesting. This is more of those waves. I can fill a page up, right? And you can kind of see some of my style now in this. This was March of last year. And I said 1 year. It'll be 2 years because in February, it'll be February 2027. Oh my God, we're going to a new year, you guys. It'll be 2 years that I've had this journal. So this one is acrylics and then some marker. But isn't it so pretty and vibrant? I loved how this one came out. I was like really getting into blending colors then. This one is just abstract shapes. Mandalas, taking mandalas seriously. You guys, if y'all are new here, I'm going through just like a look through of my sketchbook. I promised I would do it at the end of today's 15-minute live, so that's what I'm doing here. This is a sketchbook that I was working on while I was in Costa Rica mostly, and then the rest of it will be between Houston and Puerto Rico. But I promised I'd show you guys. So I was really interested in mandalas, and I started practicing all of the shapes to really teach myself. Like, it's very meditative. And then I made my own. With this guide, I made this. Isn't it so pretty? I started off with the eye, and I didn't know I was going to do a mandala. And then I started to use, I didn't use a protractor at this time. I just had to like go slow. You can see like the misproportions of my circles because I naturally just drew that. See how it's less over here than over here. But isn't it so pretty? And then I colored it afterwards. This is actually a sketch for a chair that I painted in Costa Rica for a place that I was volunteering at when I was volunteering hardcore over there. They had a chair that had been on property for years and years and years and years. They bought the property and it came with that chair. And the chair was old, but it was like great wood. And I was like, can I renew this chair for you guys? And they were like, yes. So I drew a sketch of what I wanted to paint on it. I sanded the chair and painted this on there, and it came out so cute. Like the chair looked brand new by the end of it, basically. It didn't look like this, but it looked better than this. So if you draw it, then it'll help you to get to the next step sometime if you sketch things out. This would be another mandala, but it wasn't. It was a yin yang. And I started to notice that the mandala picture, the draw through had came through. So I was like, ooh, this looks so cool. And I decided to utilize the previous magic to make a yin yang symbol. This was another sketch for that same company I was volunteering with. It's called a sarchi in Costa Rica. It's the way, like, the history behind this is that the town needed a way to get meat and cattle and things across places because there was some drama happening a long time ago. And so they created a wheel. They made a wheel and they painted that wheel. It's beautiful. And so after my host told me the story, I decided to make one and I was going to paint it for them on a big wall. It's going to be a huge mural, but my time had ran out by the time it was time for me to paint. I was like, maybe I'll come back because this is what it's actually going to be. This is the one I drew. And the guy was like, this is going to be really intense for you to make all those details. And so I simplified it with this one to spread things more out. And I was going to do it, but you can tell it's for a wheel. This part is decoration. This would be the wheel, and they decorate the whole like cart. They would use, I can't remember what kind of cows, but they'd use like cows to like take things from town to town. It's very interesting. When you travel, you get to learn a lot of history. Okay, next page. This is definitely intuitive. I tell you, I love to draw those waves. And I put on here, I have an unlimited supply of anything. I like to also put magic into my art. I be creating my world for real. And this did help me have an unlimited supply of anything that I needed. And it still is, because I do have an unlimited supply. This mandala, this was very unique. I'm trying to remember how I started. I think I started with the heart, the big heart. And then I started to fill the heart up. And then I started to get tired of doing these shapes. So I was like, okay, you can kind of see, like, if you really look, you can see points where I was like tired. And then I just started to do whatever. But I filled it up and I made a mandala around it. So Sensei Fo 34, to answer your question, I love to draw. It just takes me a little bit more time and concentration. This one was intuitive. This one started from whatever was previously indented, and then these four guys showed up. It's got details of spirals. It's very like interesting. Then we move over to here. This is very, very imaginative and intuitive. I don't know what this role was trying to show me, but it was showing me something through a door. Oh, I was going to draw a pillar at one of the places I volunteered at. On the outside of the pillar, when you look through, it didn't look like this, but it did in my head. I don't know why. It was like looking at Avatar. The place, I was on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica, and in the Caribbean side, everything looks like, what's that movie? Avatar. Everything looks like Avatar. Just like big, beautiful, colorful, like the things that I was seeing was just like magical. So that's why I did that. Anyway, next we kept going with mandalas. I decided to do a triangle one, and I loved how the circle in the middle came out. I took my time with this. It was very enjoyable. I made a lot of content with this one. Next, just me like using my journal as using my my sketchbook as a journal, and then I put art to it too. I like to do things like that. More of those waves. It was always a lot of waves when I was over there. This is very interesting. Now that I look at it in hindsight, I feel like this was me, and this was like the things around me. I was trying to find my way. Then we come over here. I love this mandala. I also made a lot of content on it. This is like my little alien friend. I was like, dang, I can draw people. I started to think about anime more, and I don't know. I loved how this one came out, plus the outlines from the previous. I love this one. This I did in Houston. That one and this one are both from Houston. This was the last one. This one was the last one in Costa Rica. Oop, sorry, you guys. This was the last one in Costa Rica, and then this moved me over to Houston. And maybe that's why I wanted to look at it a second time to tell y'all, like, yeah, this was me, and I was making transitions and changes, and I didn't know exactly where I was going to go next, but I knew I needed to go back to Houston for a moment. So everything I'd learned, I did that. And then I remember this one. It was during a hurricane. I needed something meditative to do because we didn't have power for days. This took me some days to do. And then there's this one. Thought that one was pretty. And then there's this one. I'm telling you, we didn't have power or electricity for days because of the hurricane that had happened in Houston last year in July. And so this came out of me intuitively, surrender to life. It was a mandala, but also like, life can be messy, you guys, but let us just continue to surrender to it because we know it's going to work out. It always does. The power always comes back. This one, when I posted this one, a lot of people were interpreting this piece of art and they were like, this is like burning away the old because the new is right behind the door. Because this is like a seed of life. It was definitely intuitive art. Oh, and all of this, most of the art that I've been showing you guys is color pencil. I love Prismacolor color pencils, and they made me fall in love with doing art. Here, my trippy series. Then just learning how to, I was watching a lot of videos where people were just like drawing and making things look 3D-ish. I love this one. I remember making this. I felt like it was just so playful. This came out of me in Puerto Rico. By this time I had, over here, I had left Houston, and now I'm in Puerto Rico. August. So you guys know, I have been living here for a whole year. I told y'all. This one was just line work. The place where I was staying at when I first got here, I was still volunteering, but I was on the west side. And this is the art that was coming out of me while I was over there. Okay, and it was just two pieces. I made some art for them, like some macrame wall hangings and things, and I left those there. Then I get to San Juan, and this is where my heart expanded big time because no longer was I over there. I was now over here where I am still currently. Isn't this one so beautiful? It was a mandala. I started it off with a heart and it expanded to this. Simple yet like complicated. All right. It even has my bestie's name in there because at the time she came and visited me and heart just expanded. This one, just trying to intuitively do shapes and things. Whenever I decide to do circles, like little circles like this, I always end up kind of regretting it because I'm like, but then I was like, I don't have to fill in every space around the circle, just do a little bit. And it gave a nice effect, right? Water, maybe earth, maybe air, ether, fire, and just like all of the particles that make us. I hope you guys are enjoying this because today's live has actually been 40 minutes long. Oh my God. So this one, intuitive art. This one, this was just, I needed to do something, and this is what happened. It started with this, and then I got bored. This was at a place here in San Juan that I was also volunteering at when I was still a volunteer. I'm not volunteering anymore, but I did a lot of art during that time. And to me, this reminded me of the neighborhoods. After I finished, I was like, wait a minute, this is all the neighborhoods, and they call them barrios. These are all, este es un barrio, like, but it's todo barrios around me. Like, this was me, and all of these were like the neighborhoods, and I was starting to notice how close things were to each other. Interesting, right? Then I decided that I wanted to start taking my art more seriously, and this was just a page to sketch in. And this is when I decided to go to art school. So I went to art school online, and I started to draw and to really put that there, to really just get into it. When you get, serious about stuff, then faces in December. Then this is me starting to just draw faces from photos, and I started to realize I could draw things by looking at them kind of okay. Circles just so that I can keep practicing, because I had taken days. Like when I go too many days, sometimes I just need to do something. After I did the circles, I inspired myself on that day. I did 3 pages in one day. It's crazy. Faces. No, this is wrong. Yes, just keep trying. I'm still like working on the forehead to hairline ratio. I was like, oh my God, I love to draw an iris. Then color theory, which I'm still working on color theory. Today's today's watercolor painting was based on color theory because purple and yellow are across from each other on the color wheel. Free draw to prevent boredom. So if you don't know what to do, just make lines. Working on noses. This is my nose study. I always thought noses were so hard until I did the nose study, and I was like, it's not that hard. This is intuitive drawing. I don't know who she is, but you see that forehead to hairline ratio? That's something I'm working on. If I'm going to be drawing realistic. If I'm just drawing intuitive, then maybe that's what I think people look like. I feel like maybe I think people look like lemurians, but I don't know. Only real ones will probably understand what Lemurian even means. Then drawing more faces without looking at reference photos. This one was cute. The hairline was better. This is my daughter. I drew her from a picture. I loved how it came out. This one is me trying to learn about bodies, like figures. How do you draw figures? And then I learned that figures are broken down into cubes and spheres and circles. These are the 3D shapes to help. I'm not an art school teacher, but I am an art school student. And if this is inspiring you, like, give me body. I'm very cute. Then I was like structures, now learning structures. I'm like, oh, this is what people do in architect school. Like they learn how to draw these like full like structures, full like plans, like layouts. It's intense, but it's super satisfying. Especially when you make it and it looks like you can actually like visualize what you're gonna be in. This is just spirals. Doodle break between learning keeps things fresh. Remember that, guys? Then I wanted to study shadows. So I got her to work on an egg and an apple. Shading, which way the light comes from, learning where the light is coming from and where the shadows are. This is from Pinterest, an image that I saw, and I decided to draw it, and I can literally copy things very easily. I'm pretty good at just like copying. I'm learning that. Line practice. They say to just like draw lines because it'll help you be able to make your straight lines with more ease when you're drawing things. So that's what I was doing. Also helps with shading and things like that. A little intuitive person. It was New Year. It's like New Year. Hitai. And then faces from my intuition. These came off the dome. You see how they look different than the ones that I copied from online or from another image? That's why I think that we kind of have like Lemurian qualities. This is just maybe like a point of perspective I was trying to do. Trying now to step outside the comfort zone of drawing faces and things with normal colors. I was like, let me see if I can make a face with colors that are not supposed to be there. This was line work and it turned into an apple. It's kind of cute, right? Ooh, here we go. You know who this is? SpongeBob's feet. I took this from a scene and I just drew it. Now trying to really like get into real things. Grapes. My uncle. This is from a sales ad. I just decided to draw it and color it with the Prismacolor. Prismacolor, I'm telling you, I love those colors so bad. This is Joy. I plan on when I move into my house next, I'm gonna paint Joy in a bunch of the corners, like on the wall. I'm gonna paint her in little corners so that she just pops out. Little Joy, hey girl. I love Joy. You Make Me Cherry Happy. It was a Valentine's series. Then there is the next page. I made like a tree of life for Valentine's. This was like a February series that I wanted to do. Then I made an iris. Isn't that iris pretty? It's like a Valentine iris. My little nephew. A simple mandala, also for the Valentine series. Name work. My granddaughter, based off of a photo. I thought I did really good in snowy times. What do you call that? Henna. I was like, I am so good at just copying things. That's a whole hand. Another iris. Intuitive work. There's a whole story behind this, which I won't go into right now. But if you want to hear a story time about it, put it in the comments. Story time. No, cat story time. And I will tell you guys. Intuitive. I was like, I need to paint. And I pulled out the paintbrush and just did that really fast. This is the challenge that you see online where people hold the mirror or like hold the camera and draw themselves looking in the mirror. So like I looked in the mirror and without looking at myself, I was just looking in the mirror and I was sketching myself. And you do that for the challenge online. and then you post it. That's how mine came out. People were like, you can draw. I was like, that doesn't look like me. But it does. It actually is very realistic. From not looking at myself through a mirror. Forehead to just trying to learn without looking at anything to test. Did I learn anything from all that practice? Here, these are the placements. I was like, I still need help in this area. And then I met a real art teacher. And she was like, she's like, try to look at people's faces. She said, people don't look like this. I was like, you sure right. I thought this was cute. After taking a break from doing art, I came back with this. We're almost there, you guys. I'm going to speed this up, though. This is a sketch of a friend, more lines, another iris, intuitive, better forehead. This person looks Asian. Still practicing myself. I like this one a lot. All right. One of my most favorite irises that I've made to date. Checking to see how many more pages I have. Another iris. I love this one. Lemon and cherries. Intuitive art. This looks very artistic, like it should be in a museum, but it's so simple. Color wheel study. Faces. Started drawing faces for the whole page. Getting better at my faces. For some odd reason, I love this one so much. I don't know why. There's just something about it. And this one too. Look at the expressions. I started doing different angles of faces. My cross hatching. I'm like, I am an artist. Faces are getting so much better. So much better. I'm going to change today's title to 15-minute sketch plus sketchbook, or 15-minute art challenge plus sketchbook tour, because I didn't know I was going to do this today, but this is what's happening. This is the point where I realized that, oh, I'm not giving my art a chance because I was drawing on the back of each page. And if I want to give art away, then I should not draw on the back of it. This is recent art. I love this one so much. I don't even know. I didn't put the date, but this is recent. You'll see this on my channel. It took some time, but these guys came out of thin air. So beautiful, right? Colored pencil, Prismacolors. This is not colored pencil. This is pastels, oil pastels, colored pencil. I made a recent post with this one. AI turned this into like a whole like squid kind of thing and animated it, and a person came out. Very interesting. This was a couple days ago art, or maybe yesterday's art. Yeah. And today's art, which is stuck to it. There we are, guys. We have made it all the way through the sketchbook. Make sure that you guys subscribe. Make sure you give me a like, give me a follow. Um, Turn on notification bells. That way you don't miss when I do go live again, when I do post anything, when I show up, which I'm showing up daily. So you want to be a part of this. And also make sure that you join the 15-minute art challenge, because clearly it works. If you've been watching for the past few days, you see I've been improving. I've gained that level of consistency, and there's no stopping me now. So let's support each other. So you guys, I have enjoyed today's live. Thank you so much for being here with me. Y'all have a great day. Goodbye.